I'll demonstrate the BRIC strategy in brass Birmingham. I'll play primarily breweries, rail, ironworks, and coal mines. For the sake of this demonstration, I'll strictly refuse to play cotton mills, manufacturers, and potteries. I'll talk about this strategy while playing an example game against an AI. This app is on Steam, and it's good in all ways but one. The AI plays a lot like beginning Brass Birmingham players. If you've watched my other Brass Birmingham videos, you'll see right away that the AI has not. At the same time, the app is handy for learning the mechanics of the game and trying new things. I'll make no attempt to play a perfect tactical game. Instead, I will quickly and simply follow basic strategic principles from one turn to the next. This will be a 4-player game. I'll skip to my turn to speed things up. I'm last. Everyone has spent some money and no one has developed. That allows me to develop in my first turn and still go first in the second turn. The AI has failed to manage turn order. It's built level 1 industry tiles that should have been developed away, and it's left a 1-action ironworks for anyone who has a Coventry card. Don't play like this. I'll develop away my level 1 coal mine and ironworks. Since I'm not building manufacturers or cotton mills, I'll use this industry card. It's my turn again. I'd like to build my first ironworks. Getting several ironworks out in the Canal era will ensure me a decent industry tile score. I could build it in Birmingham, Derby, or Coalbrookdale. Oxford has boxes, so Birmingham's a reasonable choice. I'll wait on Derby because I'm hoping Purple will connect his cotton mill and thereby allow me to build the ironworks without bothering to build a canal. Notice how my own development action created space in the iron market to deliver my first ironworks. Just as I hoped, Derby is now connected to coal, but I'm out of money. I'll take a loan. Kidderminster isn't really part of my plans, so I'll play that. Then I'll build my second ironworks. This is a 7-point tile that will score twice by the end of the game for 14 points. I'm building it with a single action. My ironworks delivers before my next turn, but iron is still cheap, so it's a good time to ditch my level 1 breweries. Worcester is useless to me, so I'll play that. Now I'm going to start building breweries. This might not make sense to you because it's unlikely anyone will use my beer, and I have no intention of selling anything. Let me explain. I want to play all 5 of my breweries of level 2 or higher, but there's a lot of competition for brewery sites. So I'm going to simply claim as many sites as I can during the Canal era. If anyone uses my beer, the tile will score twice and I'll be grateful. Otherwise, I'll use the beer on double rail actions during the rail era. In the meantime, I'm denying my opponents brewery sites and beer, which will make things hard on them and lower their scores. I'm going to go ahead and build my last ironworks. The iron market is already full, so it won't deliver right away. But I'm pretty sure it'll deliver by the end of the era, and 9 points scored twice is well worth the risk. Wow, my ironworks delivered faster than I thought, but I'm out of money, so what do? Take a loan. My income is negative, but it'll heal. Time to build another brewery. I'm going to keep building breweries. Look at that, someone used one of my beers. My income is now positive. At this point, I'm only thinking about the rail era. I already have beer on the table, so the only thing preventing me from building 4 rail links in the first round is money. I'll take 2 loans, which will ensure I'm first to act in the rail era. Borrowing all at once isn't bad. You push your income so low that it takes fewer income steps to recover. Notice that all 26 points of industry tiles will stay on the board and score again in the rail era, so I'm much further ahead than it appears. Now we'll enter the rail era. Rail is the single biggest scoring opportunity in the game, and good players will rush to build the best rail links early. Let's break away from the game for a minute and find out where the best rail links are. This diagram assumes that the board fills up with typical tiles. There's a very good triangle here in the north, and all the links to Birmingham are worth having. Once your board starts to fill up a bit, you'll have to adjust your thinking. A level 3 manufacturer in Birmingham reduces the value of all these links, whereas a couple level 2 cotton mills in Worcester make these links unbeatable. Back to the game. I played the last round of the Canal era to make sure I'd have money on hand and that I'd act first in the rail era. Now I'll double rail twice, which will deliver 2 breweries and fix my income all at the same time. Burton-on-Trent is already full, so I don't need this card and I'll play it. I'm using up the coal in this coal mine without connecting Derby to market. That'll make it harder on anyone else who wants to build rail up here. I guess they wish they'd built level 2 tiles on Stoke-on-Trent or Derby, instead of level 1 tiles that went away. I'm also connecting Utoxeter, so that I can use my brewery industry cards. I still have money and there's lots of good rail links left, but we're out of beer. I'll build my 4th brewery and double rail. I should have used one of my Coalbrookdale cards there. I can't possibly use both. Free coal is always worth saving up for. I'm out of beer again! If I wanted to deliver some tiles later, I'd be tempted to save my last brewery tile, but since I'm playing brick, I'll use it all for rail. If I build it now though, I won't have enough money left to double rail. If I'm not careful, my opponents, like bad roommates, will use all my beer before my next turn. I probably should have taken a loan and built a brewery, as that would have cost a total of £12, and I'd have still gone first in the following round. Here I took 2 loans instead. As I said earlier, I'm playing pretty fast. Note that I could build my last brewery in Coalbrookdale, but I already have 2 rail links attached to Utoxeter. I'll get 4 rail points for building a brewery there. The downside is that I'm not able to build the valuable rail links near Coalbrookdale. Double rail time. All of my breweries and ironworks are delivered, and there's not much beer left. I'll basically build single rail unless I start running out of money. Then I'll have to build a coal mine or take a loan. I'll also connect a coal site or 2 so that I can use my coal mine card near the end of the game. I'm out of rail links. I'll build my coal mine, but first I'll develop away those 2 level 2 coal mines so that I get 1 more point. We'll see if it's enough. Okay, so I won. As I said at the first, beating this AI doesn't prove much. The more interesting question is, why did I win? Constantly pounding away at double rail actions in the Northern Triangle and around Birmingham paid off to the tune of 82 points. I also have a respectable 59 points in industry tiles without overplaying a cotton mill, or a manufacturer, or a pottery. In 4-player games, this approach is very dominant unless your opponents counter it. How do you counter a brick player? Well, basically you play their game. You have to aggressively compete for the best rail links. You need to compete for brewery sites, and you need to push to build ironworks in the Canal era. Basically, everyone needs to play the brick playbook to one extent or another. And every other strategy is the BRIC strategy plus something else. In a two-player game, you shouldn't play a pure BRIC strategy. If you do, you'll probably run out of things to do at the end of the rail era and end up passing a bunch of actions. Now, BRIC strategy plus a couple manufacturers and potteries would probably work fine. More on that later. Thanks for watching. This video is quite different than some of my others. Tell me what you think about it.